Rue here in the chicken house today, and there are feathers everywhere. Look at this, all over the floor, so many feathers, little ones, big ones, brown ones, black ones, stripy ones. But don't worry, there hasn't been a fox attack. This is actually perfectly normal for this time of year. My chickens are molting. This means that they're shedding all of the feathers that they've grown over the past year. They're shedding these adult feathers because they're starting to get tatty, they're starting to get old, and it's time to grow new ones ahead of winter. So it's hard to tell with my girls because they are so beautiful and so charming in terms of chickens. But you can tell here with Icarus, for example, you can see she's a little bit untidy. She's starting to drop a lot of her lower feathers now. Gimpina and Nanami actually kind of molted a bit early. Nanami went broody and molted straight after. And Willow now is shedding a lot too. So you can see lots of these brown feathers. These are all Willows. Nanami is the stripy. These black ones are either Gimpina or Icarus. Growing feathers is a really energy intensive process, and it takes a lot of protein, calcium and other minerals, other macronutrients. So what we're finding is there's no eggs on the daily anymore. All I find in nest boxes for the past couple of weeks is just feathers, lots and lots of feathers, and chicken poop, which is normal for my nest boxes because my chickens sleep in them even with their perch spot. The process of shedding feathers can leave chickens vulnerable to parasites, so it's a good idea to make sure that they have dry areas that they can dust bathe in. This perch house that I've built is actually great for it because it's protected from the elements. The ground in here stays dry and dusty, so my girls can come and dust bathe in here anytime, even if it's raining outside, and that dust bathing action helps them shake loose these molting feathers and also helps rid them of parasites. You might also want to try providing them with additional dust resources, especially diatomaceous earth, which is very good at drying out parasites and other little bugs. I recommend taking something like a deep tray, maybe like a cat litter tray, and putting in a generous amount of diatomaceous earth, maybe mixed with dry soil as well, and they'll just dust bathe in that. It will help them get those loose feathers off and get those parasites under control. You may also need to spray your chicken house with a mite and louse removal spray if things get bad. Just keep an eye on it. It's harder when you can't handle your girls as much, but you need to be on the lookout for those parasites crawling on them. Ugh. If we look at Icarus here, you can really see she's very shabby. She's lost a lot of her neck feathers. They're really starting to come off. I also like to pay special attention to my chicken's diet at this time. As I said, the feathers, they're made up of things like keratin, there's calcium in there, it takes protein to produce them and to be healing the skin where they're forcing through. So I've been upping their protein a little bit. I've been feeding them some cheap wet cat food. They love it. It's a daily treat for them. They get one pouch between 4 of them as a daily treat on top of their layer pellets. I'm also making sure that their grit is extra available. Normally what I do is give them a scoop of mixed grit once every 2 or 3 days, but for this period, to make sure they're getting that extra calcium all the time, I'm just keeping it in a little bucket in their shed, and I think I might just switch over to this method permanently so they always have access to that grit. One great little bonus of molting season, I guess, is that if you're a person who likes to collect feathers, there's plenty around. Just come in and take your pick. They are a lot tattier than ones you'll get from a slaughtered and plucked chicken because these are end-of-life feathers. They are ones that the chickens want to get rid of because they're worn out and ready to be replaced. But you can still find some beautiful specimens, especially wing and tail feathers. So here are some that I've been collecting over the past week or so. What's really interesting to me is finding out the actual colouring of my chickens. So with Willow, we always see this lovely ginger colour, but the actual underside of nearly all of her feathers is this dark brown. So it's really interesting to get to see that. Nanami, all of her feathers are stripy all the way down to even the fluffiest bits of tummy down here. It's all stripy, so I love being able to see that as well. feathers are really beautiful. They're fun to use in craft projects. So I don't mind that I can come out here and collect a few. Look at this one. It's almost like an owl feather. That's one of Willow's. Moulting can be quite an uncomfortable time for your girls. It's sort of a cross between growing out a bad haircut and having to regrow fingernails. So remember that when you're looking after your chickens. They might not want to be as cuddly. They might not want to hang out as much. They might look a little down in the dumps, dejected, depressed. Keep giving them love. Keep an eye out for them. Keep an eye out for parasites and make sure they're getting those essential nutrients. I hope your chickens have a smooth molting season and start winter with a brand new beautiful coat. I'll see you next time. Bye!